Yo, what's going on guys, it's Cynical and welcome back to another Kingdom Hearts 4 news and information video. Still so strange, like every single day I'm waking up and I'm like, I'm really not dreaming. This is real. Just recently, Famitus dropped a brand new interview with Tetsuya Nomura talking about more information to do with Kingdom Hearts 4. So we have some juicy new details here, my peeps. The first thing we have right here is talking about the message that was present at the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary event, a message left by Tetsuya Nomura. Famitus were asking about a strange X that was within this message and if it kind of meant anything. Now, on the day of the 20th anniversary, some of the attendees took photos of this message and specifically were talking about the X that was included in this message. Could it possibly mean something? Why is this here? It seems really weird to be in amongst the message. Is it some weird cryptic little hint or clue that Tetsuya Nomura has left for us to try figure out? The message itself is just Nomura kind of reminiscing, I guess, about the Kingdom Hearts series and talking about its meaning, all of that good stuff. But Nomura did answer this, and he mentioned another message is hidden in this message, and X is a hint. The people who saw it were considering it on social networking services, but it seems that no one has arrived at the answer yet. He went on to mention that he had to include some kind of hidden message in this message, and even to the point of that, like, the staff don't even know what this hidden message even means. But apparently there is a hidden message that the X kind of refers to. On the day of the event, we were kind of thinking, well, X in the Scala language is the number 4, so is this alluding to Kingdom Hearts 4? But Kingdom Hearts 4 has already been revealed. This interview has happened after that fact, so clearly the X refers to something else. 10 as well, referring to 10. I mean, you know, like, the X is synonymous with Kingdom Hearts. It's something that appears a lot. Recusant sigil, the Roman numeral numbering system. We have subject X as well, thinking that that could be Skull. I mean, if the staff at Square Enix can't even figure this out, then I don't know where that leaves us, dude. Does Nomura even know what this means? Here we go, fellas. Get your Microsoft Paint applications out, your Photoshop, start getting the magnifying glass, and let's get 18,000 zoom up on that X to see what's hidden within. No, it means something. What exactly? Who knows? Classic Nomura. Next up, speaking of Shibuya, is there a possibility of reunions with the characters of The World Ends With You that appears in Dream Drop Distance? Nomura said, strictly speaking, it's a different world from the Shibuya in The World Ends With You. Some fans are thinking about connecting The World Ends With You and even Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, but there is no connection. So this is Nomura once again reiterating the fact, no, the Shibuya of The World Ends With You is not the Shibuya that appears in Quadratum Kingdom Hearts 4. A lot of us initially thought this with the Kingdom Hearts 3 secret ending, with seeing the 104 building. Yeah, we were thinking, okay, finally, Sora is going to see Neku and the gang in Shibuya, just like he was saying, and how he kind of promised that they would eventually meet up in Shibuya in Dream Drop Distance. This was confirmed in the Kingdom Hearts 3 Ultimania interview that The World Ends With You's world is not the same world as Quadratum. So again, reiteration. But I do honestly believe that there is a chance that the Twiwi gang will show up at some point throughout this next coming arc. It seems just too perfect that Sora is in a Shibuya as of right now. Their world is Shibuya. Makes too much sense. It'll happen. Next, Famitus asked about the location of the apartment that Sora wakes up in and if it's in Shibuya. Nomura has mentioned the location right here, Aoyama, which we did talk about in my analysis video. So yes, Audrey was correct. And we were mentioning how that's actually positioned not too far away from Shibuya itself. So it kind of seems like we might have this type of open world setup going on. We get further information about the room. The furniture has not been designated yet, so I think the interior will change. That room will be the base for the early stages of the game. So the room itself is going to be used as a base of sorts, a base of operations, which makes me think that there might be this system where you can return back to the apartment to maybe recoup. There might be some type of like Moogle system in there where you can return back to the apartment to like buy stuff. If the food system returns, maybe you can cook in the apartment. Yeah, so we're getting up to some like actual real world apartment cooking, living that college lifestyle. Because it's mentioned as being a base as well, this further strengthens that whole idea of this game being a possible open world game. Like, we've got a map, and the map displays different locations of the city. We can return back to the apartment at any given time via some kind of fast travel system. I honestly really like this idea. I would love to see Kingdom Hearts in an open world type scenario. We do know worlds are going to be returning, but that's not to say that these worlds can't be massive open-ended spaces. I was talking about this idea of only having minimal worlds in Kingdom Hearts 4, so maybe anywhere from like, 4 to 6 or something like that, but these worlds are big. They're essentially open worlds. And we can also expect the apartment to look different by the time of the final build, so stuff like additional furniture and stuff will be added. Now here's a really spicy one. In another news video, I was talking about how Nomura did mention that the narrator for the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer and Kingdom Hearts Missing Link trailer is the same character, and that character is a character we've known for a little while now. We have kind of a follow-up to this with this part here. Nomura is saying it's a character that has appeared so far, but it's the first time I've heard a voice. The actual translation meaning it's the first time this character has received voice work. Now at first I was thinking, okay, this would make sense if it is a character that's somehow connected to Missing Link to be Brain. We obviously see a person wearing the black coat, holding the gazing eye keyblade. I was sort of thinking, alright, could that possibly be Lushu Brain? Even though Brain is currently in Scarlet Kylum, a Lushu Brain could have time traveled, done some wonky business like that, and has returned to a point where Brain is currently existing. Having this scenario of two brains existing at one time. Crazy stuff. But no, confirmed by Tetsuya Nomura, the narrator is not Brain. So that then shifted my focus to Ephemer. That's a little bit worrying because it kind of seems like the narrator, specifically for the Kingdom Hearts 4 parts, is possibly a villain, talking about essentially Sora's position and like leaving this world but you're not able to return back to your original world. Kind of seems like it's from the perspective of one of the villains. Could it be a case that Lushu not only took over Brain, but maybe at another point too, took over Ephemer, possibly before the possession of Brain? And that after he was done with Zigbar's body, for the events of Kingdom Hearts 4, perhaps maybe brought the body of Ephemer into the future to once again possess him for some specific given reason. But the black-coated figure that we see in Missing Link could potentially be a Lushu Ephemer. It does make some sense to me because Ephemer during this time would be presumed to be dead, only because it seems like he's finished up Scarlet Kylum. This would also be a good way of being able to manipulate Brain during the time, Brain thinking that that's his friend Ephemer, where in actual case, no, it's Lushu. Now this is probably the most exciting part of the interview for me personally. Famitus were talking about how they got the impression from the gameplay of the trailer that it seems like an evolution of Kingdom Hearts 3. Nomura goes on to say that's right. In the video you can see that the button icon is displayed when the enemy punches, referring to that scene where Sora's using the sort of drill attack with the Keyblade. A button prompt kind of comes up. Nomura says you can think of that as reaction commands similar to what was found in Kingdom Hearts 2. Translations here are a little wonky, but that's what he is meaning. He goes on to then say, after the release of Kingdom Hearts 3, I saw a lot of voices hoping for the revival of the reaction command system, so I revived it. So yeah, what we are seeing in this scene right here, with that button prompt come up, is the very early stages of Kingdom Hearts 4 reaction commands. And I was saying in my analysis, a lot of what's going on with that boss encounter seems like parts of it could potentially be reaction command based stuff because it's very cinematic with what's going on. I was thinking that, or either the camera angles and certain things are probably just there for the purpose of the trailer. But yes, we are getting reaction commands back for Kingdom Hearts 4. Oh my god, base my chicken. Yes, dude. Crispy. Like, think about this. We're really about to get Kingdom Hearts 2 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 version 2. Because, like, if you put Kingdom Hearts 2 plus Kingdom Hearts 2, What is that? That's Kingdom Hearts 4. That's Kingdom Hearts 4, babe. Reaction commands are back. I honestly missed reaction commands in Kingdom Hearts 3. I know a lot of people say, oh, push triangle to win. Haha, meme, I'm funny. But it really served us up some really cool looking moves and quite cinematic moments for certain fights throughout Kingdom Hearts 2. I think honestly it's one of the coolest things that was implemented into Kingdom Hearts 2's new combat system compared to Kingdom Hearts 1. It really made flashy gameplay. You know, if we look at like the reaction command Slicer, which is probably my all-time favorite, that happens right at the end of the game where Sora literally slices a whole entire building in half with the Keyblade, and then the other one shortly after that where he's jumping from like building to building to building to building with some like free running going on. That is just honestly some of the coolest stuff. And then also, not to mention the laser situation in the Xemnas fight where you have to just spam the living life force out of triangle and you're controlling both Riku and Sora, deflecting all of Xemnas' lasers. So you can imagine, like, this was during the PS2 era, right? Things were pretty limited. With the hardware we have now, with the PlayStation 5, the Series X, the current day hardware, Square Enix are going to be able to go balls to the walls with some incredibly top-notch, eye-candy-licious reaction commands. I cannot wait to see this. And finally, we have a little bit of information from Nomura here talking about the new combat mechanic build. This was seen in the command menu during the gameplay portion. It's something new and that has never appeared in a Kingdom Hearts' command menu before. Famitus asked, what is the item build at the bottom of the lower left command window? Nomura said the concept of this battle is scrap and build. Build is a command that symbolizes that. He goes on to say, I can't tell you the details yet, but destruction and reconstruction are the keys. Please wait for the follow-up report. So yeah, not too much to go off here, but it's described as being scrap and build and destruction and reconstruction. So we were talking about this whole build thing in the analysis, and I was saying, possibly because it looks like that whole drill attack is connected, possibly, maybe, to the build thing. Is it this sort of setup where it's similar to like Yuzora, how Yuzora can absorb people's attacks and then use them for himself? You know, like how he was able to steal the power of the Keyblade and also summon Gigases at like Sora during his fight. I remember about like a year ago I was talking about this in a Keykeeper live stream about this whole idea of, you know, the different enemies or maybe just bosses throughout Kingdom Hearts 4 and how you'd be able to steal their attacks and use them for yourself. It could almost work like the command system that we had in Dream Drop Distance or in Birth by Sleep with all the different cool commands, but these commands could serve as the different things that you can start constructing for yourself. So it could be a setup where we have so many different commands to use that are utilized through this build system. But anyway guys, that is the recent Famitus interview for Kingdom Hearts 4. I am absolutely loving this news flood that has been going on throughout this week. I gotta say, it really does take me back to the days of the whole Kingdom Hearts 3 news thing. It's almost quite nostalgic for me personally. It's been a long week. It's been a hard, long week, I have to say. There's been a lot of content grinding, that's for damn sure. But I have to say, thank you guys so much for all of the support you dudes have shown me throughout this week, as well as over time. I really do appreciate it. I feel the love. The love is strong. I can smell it, taste it, see it. You guys are absolutely amazing. As always, guys, I'm Cynical. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, and I'll catch you dudes in the next one. Peace.